Hey everybody, Vaughn here with the Vonster blog, and welcome to day, I even wrote it down, I think, day 174 of a year of yoga. I don't know, but we're here, we're showing up, and that's awesome, you guys. So thank you so much for joining me. And I put Ember some drugs on the floor so she'd come and hang out with me. She and Sam and Z are all three in a little bit of a depressed stupor. They're kind of Sam and Z are barking at every little thing, like, is Callie coming home? But uh, saw a rainbow today. It wasn't raining or anything, but about almost 24 hours, is probably closer to 25 hours after uh Callie passed away. I was just sitting there crafting, just trying to keep my mind off of any sort of downward spiral tendencies. And I was just looking at the sky while I was wire wrapping, and there it was. And I was like, oh my God. And so I went and I got Randy off the grinder. And I was like, because he's been using the ring saw and everything all day, so it was just loud. We went and we looked at it on the porch, and I was like, I'm normally not a person to, grasp for straws or just, because and I try to keep myself from being like, oh, this is a thing, this is, but as silly as it might make me feel sometimes, it did feel like a pretty signy sign. So, uh, it, it it's helping regardless. So we are here. We are keeping on one foot in front of the other. Thank you guys for joining me. Let's go ahead and get started. We are going to just be right here on the mat in thunderbolt position if this is uncomfortable for you. Being seated on a low stool or a couple of blocks may actually help. In fact, let's see, hey baby girl, what happens when we sit on, let's do 2 blocks, just to bring my booty up off of maybe allowing, really? You're gonna have drugs and just leave? Typical. No, she's probably hungry or something. Oh, that helps a little bit. Putting some blocks just right underneath your sit bones can hopefully help relieve some of that pinching of thicker thighs. So let's start by just pairing our breath with our awareness. And from here, let's scoop through and come back and scoop down. You can even use your hands on your knees or thighs to lend support. And whenever we get to the bottom here, we pull our abs in while we come down, pulling that navel towards the spine, scooping our sternum up and forward, and then coming back and scooping down. I'm actually finding the blocks a little bit more of a hindrance than a help because I really like being able to have that freedom to tuck my pelvis under with an anterior and then a posterior tilt. Scooping through. It's very much just like we're doing a cat-cow, but in thunderbolt position. And now to change direction, we'll actually lead with our lower abs and come up and then scoop forward and pull back. So we're starting in the C position, and then we'll unravel the bottom of our C first by just untucking that pelvis, and then following our spine forward, and then coming back. Then we can change directions. And from here, let's inhale our hands overhead, come down, kind of stretching back. into cat-cow. Well, no, just the cat part in it. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling forward. I always picture when I'm doing this, all 2 days of it. Always. Both times I've done this, I've visualized that scene from Hercules where they're like the minions of Hades are like, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. You're going to even arch back a little bit and come down. I don't know if this is how we're supposed to do it, but it's definitely getting some blood flowing. So now from here, we will actually come into cat-cow. Our knees under our hips, our wrists under our shoulders. And just start really one vertebrae at a time, like we're squeezing every drop out of a sponge. Thoroughly. And we can even come back into child's pose. And scoop on through and up. And now let's change direction. Coming back. Extended arms. And really the goal here is to just really wake up that spine. Staying here for just a moment longer in child's pose. Hey, baby. Who's your good boy? Oh, that's a big stretch. You here for some yoga too? Good boy. So now we will come to a tabletop position again. And let's inhale, lifting our left arm, reaching it forward. Now let's exhale, bringing that arm through and threading the needle. So I'm placing my elbow on the ground and then kind of trying to get this to be nice and open along my spine. Inhale and exhale, come on up out of it. Inhale our opposite arm up and exhale, threading through, placing my right elbow kind of behind my left hand, and then, oh yeah, it's real tight on this side. Just leaning down onto my shoulder. Working to find an ease of breath, even if it is not coming easy. If you can't make it easy, at least make it thorough. So from here, our hands nice and planted, nothing in the way between our hands and the mat. Our index fingers should be parallel. All of our fingers spread comfortably wide. We don't want to spread our thumbs too wide, though. Inhale, prepare yourself by extending your back leg, and exhale into plank. One more breath here. Inhale and exhaling, knees down. Let's walk our hands back for just a moment. Let's give our wrists a little bit of a break. Oh, I don't know if you could hear that snap, crackle, and popping. Just turning our wrists in one direction and then the other. And now it's kind of a little bit of wax on, wax off, but just kind of different. If you're into Miyagi-Do style, we're actually painting the fence vertically on this one. So as we inhale, coming up, and then exhale, coming down. Our wrist is our hand, and our hands are actually the paintbrush bristles. So I guess our wrist is the handle, and our hands are the bristles. Coming back, and forward. From here, let's walk our fingertips back forward, or back to the head of our mat. Inhaling, preparing ourselves. Exhaling into plank. Inhale and exhale, pushing up to downward facing dog, getting a really nice stretch. Oh my goodness, through the back side of our body. Shaking our head, yes and no. Releasing all that tension that we may be hoarding in our face. And you can even kind of do a little bit more of a posterior tilt. Or anterior. I don't know, we're poking our butt out. Whichever one that is. To get deeper into the hamstrings and the calves. We can even kind of shift our weight from side to side. Inhale and exhale. Back down to plank. Inhale and exhale, downward facing dog. On our next inhale, exhale to plank. And lower our knees. Walk our fingertips back into a thunderbolt position. Take some time to be alone with your thoughts and your breath. Not a lonely kind of alone, but just kind of that hermit solitude of just me time. That's a good thing. It's important to know that there are no wrong ways to grieve. Like, your grief is valid, but let it be a river. You can't build a dam to try to hold that river of grief back, nor should you build a dam to keep it all from flowing away. Randy and I spent a good portion of late last night, and even part of today, in between working, just writing down all the things that we want to remember about Callie. And just kind of cherishing and honoring her memory. And figuring out how to still put one foot in front of the other in a life full of little empty spots now, little Callie-sized empty spots. That girl rubbed her butt on everything. Like, there's not a thing in this house that I can look at that she has not sat on and judged me from. So it's very nice to be surrounded by her still. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see y'all tomorrow for another day of a year of yoga. So until then, you guys, keep on keeping on. Mwah. Bye.